everyone, welcome back to my channel, Tantra and Tarot with Kelly. Today I'm here to do a quick reading for the full moon lunar eclipse that we had last night, May 15th at 10:14 p.m. Mountain Time. So I usually take some notes, and today I'm just going to wing it and just start shuffling, and we can talk briefly a little bit about this lunation. It's considered to be the flower moon, which makes a lot of sense since we're here in springtime. And also this lunation is ruled by Scorpio, which its ruling planets are Pluto and Mars. So right now we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and we have Mars, I believe, moving ahead in Pisces right now. And once it conjoins into Aries, there should be a lot more fireworks going on. But for right now in Pisces, things may be, I don't know, a little bit more emotional. So it could have been a really emotional release for you last night or this upcoming week. I know I definitely felt it, felt that swell come up, and then a release. And that makes you feel like you've been able to let something go, which is all about what Scorpio represents. So whatever it is that you're letting go right now, I hope you are able to do it gracefully and without too much pain. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're letting go of our fears, and we're allowing the universe to take us in the direction that our life is supposed to go. Hence the nodes, and that's why we have the eclipses. So this one was on the south node, so it's about a letting go, and even more so because it's represented by Scorpio. And then we're headed towards the north node, which is in Taurus right now. So definitely focusing on your values, your morals, and what fulfills your senses and everything that is beautiful and lovely in your life. So I already did some shuffling right now, and I'm cutting the deck for the tarot deck. And at the bottom of the deck, when I cut, it looks like I have the 5 of Wands in reverse. So we'll see what that when that comes back around, maybe an end to arguing, or perhaps there were some battles or some jealousy in the past that now we are moving through. So congratulations if you've gotten through just some heated times. So with Venus in Aries right now, it could be some heat between lovers, or it could just be some fiery creativity that you're starting to really take a hold of these days. So I'm going to pick probably 2 of these animal spirit cards. The deck I'm using today, I've got it's a little bright there. This is the Fountain Tarot deck. And then I'm using the animal spirit deck here. And also I'm going to be taking a couple of cards from the Visionary I Ching. So that's what I'm rolling with today. And okay, I got my animal cards. Next, I will take 2 of these Visionary I Chings. So as you're looking to see what direction your life is going in right now, you could have felt a little stopped in your tracks because this whole lunation is square Saturn. And so Saturn's more of the disciplinarian, more of the authoritarian. And what is Saturn telling you to do right now in your life? It could be really loud and clear. And if you don't follow it, you may end up finding that you get some kind of a tower situation in your life, which is things crumbling just so that they can be rebuilt in the right way. So let's see here. I've got all the cards pulled. We're going to go ahead and get started. The bottom of the deck, when I'm done shuffling, we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is definitely having that intelligence and that intuition that says, I'm going to cut off what is not necessary. And I'm using, if I've been hurt in the past, I'm going to not experience that pain again. I've got this sword, and that's going to protect me moving forward by not engaging in the things that may have brought me pain through using my intellect. So we'll see how that relates to some of these other cards. Past energy, I have the Chariot in reverse. Present energy, I have the 2 of Swords. Current energy, I have the 3 of Coins. Future energy, I have the Moon. And I have a couple augmenting cards here, and so we will discuss those in just a second. Let's see what we have for the animal card. For the animal card, number 1, I have the Camel. And for the animal card number 2, I have the Dragonfly, which I really like how that is working with this moon cycle because of the transformational element. So And we'll talk a little bit more about these I Ching cards here in the future as well. But just to start off, we have 44. And then we also have number 37. So we'll talk about those, but let's get into this tarot. So with the past, with being the Chariot card, and some of these come up in the reverse, and I'll speak of them both directions so that you understand how they work both ways around. So with the Chariot being in the past, the Chariot represents having brought your mind, your head, and your heart together. Like you're connecting the two opposites so that you can move your life forward. Essentially, you have a dark side and a light side. We all have the two sides to ourselves. And if you want your Chariot to move forward, he's got a white horse and a black horse representing the dark and light. You have to bring those into harmony together. So one horse is not going one way and the other horse is going another way. And if that was in the reverse, this may have been somewhat of a challenge for you. Maybe you're having a hard time getting your head and your heart on the same page, and you aren't sure which direction you want to move forward in. And that a lot of times means that there has to be some kind of decision made. This person, you can see it better like that, has two swords in their hands, and they also have a blindfold on. And with the blindfold on and holding the two swords, they can't take the blindfold off to see which direction they're going to go next until they drop one of the swords, i.e. make a decision. And so that definitely relates quite a bit to the eclipse energy, because we're going to need to let something go. We can't go both ways at the same time, much like this Chariot. He cannot go in two opposite directions expecting to move ahead. She cannot make a decision until she trusts her intuition, until she uses her intelligence to decide which is going to be the better, most peaceful route, and not knowing what's going to happen next, needing to drop one of the options and then make the decision, and then you can see what happens next. So definitely taking a lot of faith and trust in the process. Where does that lead us to? Well, the central energy we have right now is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles definitely speaks of working with a team and collaborating with others of like mind to bring a goal about. So once you make your decision of the goal that you have in mind and where you're headed at this time, looking for other team members that can help you create that vision for yourself. And where is that going to lead us next? Well, our future card that we have here is the moon. We see that big moon and it's shining off of the water. And the hard part about this is that a lot of times with the moon, we see the reflection on the water, but not what lies beneath. And the moon represents kind of us seeing things differently at night rather than we do during the day. Like when you go out at night and you see the shadows, it's hard to tell what's within the shadows at night. And we may be feeling that way in the late hours during this eclipse. And as it's affecting us, we're letting go of those deeper fears. This can be fears, this can be addictions, this can be fantasy. And if this card is in the reverse, then we're having a hard time letting go of those things. We need to be really looking at the truth of the matter, not how we want it to be. And unfortunately, what does that mean? That means that kind of the dream may be, or the fantasy may be over, and then you're focusing on the reality. And that card was augmented with this Seven of Swords, which may feel like you're wanting to get away with something. So if this is in the reverse, and this is like in augmenting it, that you may want to get away with the same fantasy that you're lying to yourself about that needs to end. And so up here with the Two of Swords, we also have the card augmented by the Magician in the reverse. So what does that say to me? That says that, allowing yourself to manifest what you want is going to be solely based on making smart decisions in your life. Because if the challenge is not getting what you want this to be in the upright. You want to be using all of that is that you have, your earthly powers, your emotions, that which you love and that which you create to build this bigger image for yourself, which means that you are going to have to dream, but you need to dream in a sense of reality And you need to look at what's beneath the surface and make sure that no one is lying to you about what that is, that you aren't being tricked and you aren't tricking yourself, because this may mean that we aren't really fully encompassing our truth. And if there are changes that need to be made, certainly we need to be on top of what that truth is for ourselves. As much joy as it may not bring us to make changes in our life, sometimes that is really what's going to bring the joy in the future. And it's just hard to tell now what's going to happen because we have that blindfold on still. So making smart decisions, working with the team that's going to be helping you in this regard so that you can bring about more of a healing cycle and not repeating the same cycle that you were just in the last 6 months, because these eclipses last approximately 6 months or longer, that energy. So think about the decisions that you need to make now and how those are going to affect you through the end of November. So lot to think about. And but this Queen of Swords, she definitely has she's got her head on straight. She knows what it is that she wants and how to get it based on making smart decisions. And whether that means you have to cut somebody off, do so kindly without yielding your verbal sword too much, as to not burn bridges, but perhaps just shut doors gently. So that's my advice with the tarot. And let's talk a little bit more about these animal spirit cards. So I definitely know off the top of my head that the camel card means that you're traveling well, that there could be travels ahead for you. However, the camel definitely needs to be drinking plenty of water. The camel is a fire element. And so in that heat, we need to make sure we have enough of the nourishing resources that are going to cool us down. So if you're feeling that heat rising, make sure that you are nourishing yourself with that which is going to not dehydrate you. So that could be lots of different things. Okay, it says the camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. Much like the Temperance card somewhat in tarot as well. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions, which means that we've got to be our best own observers to make sure that we're giving well thought out responses instead of heated reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When in balance, calm, content, sparkle in the eye. When out of balance, dehydrated, lacks vitality, bring into balance a pilgrimage. So maybe you're planning some fun trips for this summertime, but as you're making your plan, make sure that you don't dry out too much with this heat. I know where I'm living, it's very warm and we haven't had any rain. So I'm definitely drinking plenty of water to make sure I have that inner nourishment. What else do we have? So we also have the dragonfly card, which is an air element. And let's read a bit about the dragonfly. Okay. Let's see here. Where is it at? Give me just a minute. Here we are. Dragonfly. There we are. Master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always shifting, moving, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it is worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so that the light of wisdom can shine through. So try not to think too far in advance, but making smart decisions based off your intuition to allow some of this restless mind to ease so that transformation can happen. It says, when in balance, sees clearly, joyful, magical, which we have this magician right here. And in order for the magician to be in the upright so that we aren't getting manipulated, we need to use the elements to our advantage and not to disadvantage others to get what we want. When out of balance, can't concentrate, busy mind, bring into balance, focus on the breath. So deep inhales and exhales through the nose You inhale, hold for a few moments, and then exhale. That is the pranayama style breathing. You can also do the square breathing where you hold at the top and hold at the bottom. If you'd like to know more about that, you can certainly watch some of my meditation videos, which I will link to at the end of this. But let's keep moving forward, and we're going to read about these I Ching cards. Okay, so let me get my I Ching book here. Number 44 we have is the first card, and then we will look at the changing lines between the two so we can get a more of a rich answer here. So it says liaison, sky above, wind below. An attraction is strong, but the relationship may not be destined to last. A coming together of disparate forces may not be what it seems. An apparently harmless but potentially dangerous element has attracted attention and is pulling on a stronger one. And that can even be what we're seeing in this moon card here, maybe with some of the addictions and some of the fantasy that's making you feel like reality is something other than what it truly is. So a traditional Chinese image is of a bold but immature young woman using her charms to gain influence over someone in a position of power, which power seems to be a really big topic these days with our Scorpio lunation and also with Pluto retrograde. So how are you using your power? And, you know, it says when power shifts into the hands of those who are not prepared for it, misfortune can come to all parties. So be very aware of how you're using your power. It says be wary of temptations that arise because of the power of your position, or conversely, your connection to someone in an important position. All right. When honorable and balanced, there are indeed times when a rendezvous of the yielding of the strong turns out to be a great opportunity for positive and construction relationships. So how you're going to be working with that balance, we spoke about that with this camel element, how you're working with your fire and water and your emotions to harness it and work in a positive way as to not be brought down by negative power or manipulation, which when we have our magician in the reverse, we're definitely speaking of watching out for manipulation as well as the Seven of Swords. So be very careful about that. The next one that we're going to be reading is number 37. And number 37 has to do with family. It is called Extended Family. Wind above, fire below. Got this beautiful image here. Apologize for the shine. All right. A family that thrives is one in which healthy independence is cultivated. Independence as opposed to codependence, right? Respect for differences in roles is essential. A common example is between a wife and husband whose shared authority is critical. In fact, strong and harmonious kinship is dependent upon every member of the family or tribe. Trust, shared responsibilities, and good communication are primary values. So definitely we were seeing that with the with the Three of Pentacles. Each person must be encouraged to find his or her position and appropriate contribution. So how are you contributing to the family? How are you contributing to your groups, your interpersonal groups? Are you feeling like you are contributing because you're enabling? Are you contributing out of love? And what is the difference between the codependency and the interdependency? So definitely an important topic for right now. A harmonious family is a team that symbolizes the ideal of human independence, interdependence, and has long provided a foundation for society. So looking at what bring that healthy family energy together and how we're going to be a good team player, it says, is supremely valuable to everyone. So now I'm going to look at the changing lines between the two, and we're going to read the little special message that comes with this. So let's see here. We have 1, 2, and 4 are all changing. So we're going to read line 2, the middle line between the changing lines, which is line 44, line 2. All right. So let's get that open here, and we'll see what other energy that tells us about. Here, a destructive force is held at bay through gentle means. There will be good fortune if you can hold firm. One image is that of a viral epidemic that is best contained through quarantine and education rather than mass evacuations and hysteria. Wow, how interesting is that? It seems to be something that we have just gone through. the mass evacuations and hysteria that build the fear, that make us feel like we're like this, that we're afraid to live our true dreams. It says we need to hold those forces at bay through gentle means. So definitely with this Scorpio moon, being very aware of your fear, being very aware of how that's driving you, and working through the gentle higher powers to help bring about a peaceful resolution to any of the challenges you may be in right now. And if those are with yourself, being honest with yourself about where it is that you're going with any addictions or codependency, and how you can bring about more of a truthful resolve through being true to yourself and being true to others at the same time. Well, everyone, that is what I had today for this beautiful super flower full moon lunar eclipse that we've had in Scorpio. And I wish you a lovely week ahead, and I will be back soon. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so by pushing the subscribe button below. And I would love to have you as a part of my growing community. Please subscribe to my channel for more Tantra and Tarot.